This is Michael Carterman, Senior Planner. We do not have a quorum yet, so we are going to postpone the meeting until around 6:20, and we will be back with you shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. The regular meeting for the Milton Board of Zoning Appeals for Tuesday, November 19th, 2024 has been called to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on our agenda is the introduction of board members, beginning to my left.
Billy Carmen.
Hodge Patel
Lauren Holmes.
Nicholas Horton.
and Adam Danella, Zach Middlebrooks, and Zach Stafford had work commitments this evening and are not in attendance. Item 4 on this evening's agenda is approval of the agenda. I'll make a motion to approve tonight's meeting agenda published by the City of Milton.
I'll second.
Get a motion by Hodge and a second by Billy to approve tonight's meeting agenda as published by the City of Milton. Is there any discussion? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The motion passes unanimously. Item 5 on this evening's agenda is approval of past meeting minutes. I'll seek a motion to approve the September 17th, 2024 meeting minutes as published by the City of Milton.
I'll second.
Need a first.
Oh. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes. I'm sorry.
I'll second.
We had a motion from Billy and a second from Lauren to approve the September 17th, 2024 meeting minutes as published by the City of Milton. Is there any discussion? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Item 6 this evening is consideration of primary variances. The Board of Zoning Appeals is a quasi-judicial board comprised of resident volunteers of the City of Milton. The board is charged with hearing requests for variances from the standards of Unified Development Code, or UDC, and the appeal of administrative determination. With regard to decisions on primary variances, the board's basis for decision is provided by these 4 considerations. A, relief if granted would not offend the spirit or intent of the UDC. And B, there are such extraordinary and exceptional situations or conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property that the little or strict application of the UDC would create unnecessary hardship due to size, shape, or topography or other extraordinary and exceptional situations or conditions not caused by the variance applicant. And C, relief if granted would not cause a substantial detriment to the public good and surrounding properties. And D, public safety, health, and welfare are secured and the substantial justice is done. The first primary variance this evening is V24-17, 13210 Owens Way. Michael, will you please present?
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
Good evening.
B2417 6A. The applicant is Kelly Cravens, and the address is 13210 Owens Way. The site is a 1.65 acre parcel located in a 6 Hill subdivision, shown in Exhibit A. The property is zone AG1 and located in the rural Milton overlay district. Applicable setbacks for the lot are a 60-foot front setback, a 40-foot side corner setback, a 25-foot side setback, and a 50-foot rear setback. The applicant is seeking the following variance. Section 3.14B to reduce the 25-foot minimum side yard to 16.5 feet adjacent to north property line for existing pool cabana accessory structure. Here's the area of the property and has double frontage on Owens Lake Road and Owens Way. And if you follow my cursor, here is the pool, and directly to the north is the cabana. The lot has a depth of 464 feet and a width of 180 feet, as shown in the survey Exhibit B. The rear of the property is heavily screened with vegetation, with state waters located along the rear property line. Per the applicant's letter of appeal, the cabana is screened on the north property line with a mixture of holly, magnolia, arborvitae trees of 15 feet plus in height. Here's a zoomed-in site plan. The applicant purchased the property on March 2022, the previous property owner constructed the cabana without first receiving a community development approved building permit. The cabana was constructed in early 2022 prior to the applicant taking ownership of the property in March 2022. The applicant submitted a retroactive building permit for the cabana structure on October 29th, 2024. The adjacent neighbor map shows support in Exhibit C. Letter of support from 13220 Owens Way, which is directly to the north and the most impacted neighbor from the variance request. And also they have support from the Six Hills Homeowners Association. Here's support from the Six Hills HOA. And a letter of support from the neighbor directly to the north, 13220 Owens Way. Here's a view to the east, view to the west, which is directly behind the pool, facing the backyard. You can see how it drops in grade. View to the north, which is the cabana side. You can see it, make it out a little bit in the picture on the left here, and the other side of the yard to the west. So both sides are pretty heavily screened from both neighbors. Here are the cabana photos. And this shows the side facing the neighbor to the north, which again shows how screened it is from the other neighbor. And this was a photo provided from the homeowner from the back deck, showing an aerial view, kind of showing how tall the screening is for the cabana structure. This is from the side yard facing Owens Way, a little green cursor. You can barely make out the top of the cabana, and the house is right here. If you go even farther back, it's even harder to see. On November 5th, the DRB met had the following comments. DRB recommends approval of the variance request. The board inquired what brought the applicant to seek a variance. Staff replied the applicant is currently going through the process of selling their home, and during this process, the cabana issues were brought to their attention. The board acknowledged the property is heavily screened with trees and the cabana cannot be seen. Recommended condition from staff, if approved. Per the survey from Accurate Survey and Plan Incorporated received on September 26, 2024 by the Community Development Department, the cabana structure shall receive a community development approved building permit. And lastly, existing tree screening along north property line shall remain between the farthest west corner of the pool decking to the farthest north corner of the single family home. And here's an illustration to depict what staff is requesting. Here's the edge of the pool decking, and then the farthest north corner of the house, we are proposing to keep this screening between the yellow lines. Any questions for staff?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Michael, do you know if the applicant, well, we know that they've applied for a building permit. Is there anything else besides the approval on a variance that would be required by the city in order to issue their permit?
So yes, the variance will be required prior to issuance of the permit. So it's currently under review and has not been approved yet. But the owner actually met with the chief building official today to talk about some review comments.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Actually, Michael, one other quick question for you. Do we have anyone wishing to speak in favor or in opposition?
We have no comments.
Okay.
Today.
We'll have a combined 10 minutes for the applicant to make an opening presentation, public comment from anyone wishing to speak in favor, and a closing statement from the applicant. There will also be 10 minutes for public comment in opposition. And if the applicant would like to come forward at this time, please state your name and address for the record. And if you tell us a little bit about your request for the variance, I'd appreciate it.
Certainly. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Sean Cravens, joined by my wife and son, Kelly and Caleb. We're here unfortunately because the previous homeowners of our property built a cabana that was ultimately unpermitted, as well as it fell within the side setback to the neighbor to the right of us. The cabana provides a significant, or the screening behind the cabana provides a significant privacy for this side as well as the other side. Unfortunately, when the homeowner built this and we purchased the house, they were not very truthful in regards to their seller's disclosures, in regards to the known unpermitted work on the property, and they clearly lied on that. So unfortunately, we did not find this out until we were in the process of actually selling the home recently, and a potential home buyer took it upon themselves to do some measurements from the fence, and then came to the city, and it came to light that this was indeed an issue that we had to take care of. And so that's why we're obviously here today. As Michael mentioned, the screening behind the cabana is full and mature. He said arborvitaes, hollies, and magnolias. And the removal of this structure would be a significant chore just given the topography, and would have a pretty significant impact on not only the drainage, the landscape itself, the irrigation, and most likely the sewer lines as well if we were forced to remove the cabana itself. Prior to our purchase of the house, the actual cabana was presented to the Six Hills HOA Architectural Committee and was approved by the neighborhood. However, they obviously went forward with the process without going to the city for not only a permit, but then obviously built it within the setback. As a result of that, we did get a letter from the people to the right, as stated by Michael, as well as a letter from the HOA president showing their approval and support of the cabana as it stands. Last would be the landscape there is very well maintained and mature. And we believe that this, by granting this variance, it is consistent with the spirit and intent of the UDC. That's all I have. Any questions?
I had two questions for you. One was, there were two conditions. One is on getting the building permit on the cabana.
Correct.
Is there anything out there that would create a concern in terms of you being able to get the permit if the variance is issued?
No, he actually said he would be coming by tomorrow or Thursday. And essentially, it's a one-sided cabana. So the only thing that he would be looking at, fortunately, the flooring they did on, it's like I don't even know what it is, a marble. I'm not 100% sure that's correct, but marble blocks essentially on like a gravel crush and run, so they can be pulled up around one of the posts in order to see if the footings were correct. Other than that, there's really not much that we anticipate.
Then the second question I had for you was on the condition to require screening to remain based on the exhibit that Michael had presented. Do you have any issue with that if
No.
it was going to be approved subject to those conditions?
Yeah, no, the
Okay.
screening there was obviously put in when the pool cabana was erected, or even before that. And they're mature trees and vegetation that have no intention of removing.
Questions? You've got about 6 minutes left. We don't have anyone wishing to speak in favor or opposition. So if you want to make a further closing statement, you certainly can. It's not a requirement.
I'm good.
But
Thank you.
we don't have any other questions. Thank you. Any questions for staff or legal counsel? No. I'm going to close the public portion of V24-1713210 Owens Way. And I'm going to make a motion to approve this application request with 3 conditions. The first is per the survey from Accurate Surveying and Planning, Inc., received on September 26, 2024 by the Community Development Department. The second condition is the cabana structure shall receive community development approved building permit. And then the third one is the existing tree screening along the north property line shall remain between the farthest west corner of the pool decking to the furthest north corner of the single-family home.
Second.
Got a motion by Hodge and a second by Nick to approve with the three conditions. Since I made the motion, I will go first on this one. The applicant, when they purchased the home, received a seller's disclosure document, which was improper. They were relying on it. What the applicant's doing now is just trying to clean up kind of a mess that they were dealt with in terms of that not being permitted properly, and then that was on the previous owner's watch and clock. So for A, I don't think it offends the spirit or intent. I feel there's some extraordinary conditions that apply to this situation overall. Some of the things that we're doing to mitigate that is there's already existing screening, but we're protecting that existing screening from remaining by putting that condition in. And I also feel that public safety, health, and welfare are secured, and that we're providing substantial justice to the applicant. Other feedback or comments?
No, I think that's kind of covers it, yeah. People, I mean, if there was a way to go back on the previous owners, but there's not, so that happens.
Okay, for V 24-17132110 Owens Way, I'll call for a vote. We've got a motion by Hodge, a second by Nick, to approve with three conditions. Let me read those conditions in the record one more time. Per the survey from Accurate Surveying and Planning, Inc., received on September 26, 2024 by the Community Development Department. Second condition being that the cabana structure shall receive a Community Development approved building permit. And then third condition is the existing tree screening along the north property line shall remain between the furthest west corner of the pool decking to the farthest north corner of the single-family home. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Please continue to work with the city staff, and good luck selling your home.
Good luck. Sorry for the delay, guys. Had a little bit of a car situation that came up, so my apologies for keeping y'all here longer than you wanted to be.
Item 7 is consideration of appeals and secondary variances.
None.
Item 8, old business.
Also none.
Item 9, new business.
Yes, we have the draft calendar. And this is draft because our bylaw is actually required to come back to the last scheduled meeting of the year. So you'll see it in December. So if you see any dates that don't work or anything like that, just let me know before the meeting. You're surely welcome to discuss it now, but if something.
One of the things that we looked at Fulton County's calendar for spring break. We looked at Thanksgiving week and Christmas. We feel the dates work for that. But if you have any comments or anything, let Michael know and we can address them ahead of the next meeting, and then we can go ahead and vote on it.
Okay. Fine.
Item 10 on our agenda this evening is adjournment. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion by Hodge, second by Lauren to adjourn. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thanks. Have a good evening.